Hello, welcome. My name is Acrylis. Welcome to our very casual, quiet, peaceful casting of this game. Shut up. We're gonna be going over the game between PSG LGD and Infamous Gaming in Dream League Season 11. I think this match was on the 10th of March, or is it the 12th of March? Anyways, I'll just link the match history like in the description. But I'm gonna preface this by saying I haven't really been keeping up with the meta as of like the last recent patch, so I'm not really too sure what the bans are gonna be. But we'll take a look and then kind of just make some guesses out from there. More like educated guesses, hopefully. But let's take a look and see how this game starts out. But it may not be relevant at all. Based on my knowledge, a lot of melee carries are gonna be pretty useful here. So Jug's pretty popular. I think Life Stealer phased out. Well, I think Life Stealer's still popular, but not as popular as before. Viper's still strong, but not as strong. Obviously I think Mars is in this patch. I'm not too sure actually. It should be. We'll see. If it is in this patch, there's a good chance we'll see it come up. Earth Spirit ban and a Lich ban. Okay, so the regular kind of like high pressure supports early. Infamous Gaming bans the Lich, so hmm. Okay, so LGD banned it first. So the Lich, both of them banned it pretty quickly. So I guess this is what they kind of just want to get out of the way first before they get to all the meaty stuff. Yep. See, with the new recent buff to ulti, you get more armor when you channel your ulti. So you get it's a lot more useful, especially with the aura nowadays, making lane sustain with mana a lot easier. The Magnus ban to kind of prevent it from pushing it to a later game scenario with something like a PA or an AM, just kind of preventing things from snowballing it too fast out of control, I guess. So it looks like Infamous are kind of banning out those team fighting heroes, whereas LGD is kind of pressuring out those early game picks, those early game support picks. The CM is kind of like a consistently good strong pick, uh, which is kind of yeah, which is kind of early game, but it also phases into like the mid game where you have Chain Frost plus the RP. So I guess Infamous Game is just trying to lock out a lot of those support picks, especially since they have FY on the team. It should be noted, yeah, actually, an important thing in this game, as we see the Chen ban out from LGD, is that CDC's XM is playing instead of Somnus. Apparently, he's on a break. Good for him. Good to have a break every once in a while. Stay healthy. But XM will be standing in for him. I'm not sure how long he's been playing with them. I think it's been since the beginning of February, so about a month's worth of practice. The Lifestealer ban does come out, so it is still a pretty relevant pick, it seems. Based on what we're seeing here, going to be a strong support. So the Bounty Hunter, yep, Bounty Hunter is still very strong in this patch. Nothing really changed with him in the new patch, so it's really a high pressure pick still. LGD, really nice, really nice pick. It basically made it so that they locked out the early game support picks that kind of screw over Bounty Hunter. So I guess they were looking to take this pick from the beginning and kind of just set up for that early game aggression. It's a shame that Infamous didn't ban out the Bounty Hunter. I felt like, yeah, I mean, if that was them, it's one of the more popular. I think it's one of the more popular picks in the game right now, or like the highest win rate. Glashrak's a good pick. I think the meta is still a Shrek off lane, but I could be wrong. With the ban on Lifestealer, it's still a pretty good possibility, but it's interesting to see stuff like that show up in like off lane. Um, Obviously, it's more of a mid pick historically, but we'll see how things go out from there. I wouldn't assume he's picking his mid so early. Probably the support here, yep, with the Oracle. Still a really good pick, especially for denial, maintaining a good safe lane, making sure the carry stays alive a good amount of times. Because you can just negate either a good amount of magic damage or purge out like any debuffs. And with like the Purifying Flames, the good amount of lane pressure as well, since you got those nukes coming down pretty hard. All in all, pretty good picks from both of them. It's probably going to be a position. So that Bounty Hunter's position 4. we're probably going to see a position 5 pick here. Or if they're bold, the position 3.
Dire team's turn to ban.
Pangolier. Okay. That's assuming it's going to be the position 3, hopefully. I don't want to see another, like, EG strat where where our TZ picked Pango safe lane. That was awful. Although, I mean, against the Leshrac, who knows? Maybe it's good, but I don't think Pango's good against, like, a lot of magic nukes.
10 seconds remaining.
But it's going to be an overall aggressive offlane if they do stick the Pango into the offlane. Can be flex mid. I've seen it happen sometimes as well. The next round of bans come out. LGD bans Huskar. Seems to be a priority to ban the mid picks at this point in the draft. Kind of just denying out that early game. Oh, and the combo with Oracle. Yeah, that's pretty significant too. Surprising that It's surprising that with Infamous Gaming they didn't pick the combo when they had both the second and the third pick, but who knows? They banned out Pugna, another good pick, especially against their two current picks, Leshrac and Oracle. Leshrac drains mana like it's I don't really know. It's like a vacuum in a dusty cabin. He just drains mana with everything. Like, I mean, like your Earth Splitter is a lot amount of mana invested in it. If you want your Lightning Bolt to be effective, then it's gonna take like I think 140 mana every time you cast it towards like max level. Lone Druid ban now. Okay, so the split pushers are still pretty relevant. With the ban out to Lich, an ADP might be a decent choice, but they've already kind of locked in their offlane, so it would have to be position 5 pick. But the Lone Druid ban is reasonable. With the way things are going, just having the bear go ham on someone and just like have the Oracle lock him down or protect the carry while the bear just kind of runs through the back line is a really good choice, especially against these two guys who really don't like it when people stick on them. And since the bear tends to hit roots pretty often, that would be a very bad scenario. Infamous Gaming is their what's it called? Reserve time to figure out what they want to ban exactly here. So I think they're kind of torn between banning out a more aggressive early game support or kind of just focusing on the carries and banning out a mid pick. I would reasonably say you're kind of already stuck with what you got for supports. You can kind of make a contention for something if it's super important, but the bounty hunter already went through, so it's going to be a really hard lane, whoever you pair up with the Leshrac, unless it's like really good. That didn't make sense. It's going to be hard to pair something up against that lane, especially since a lot of the bans have already gone through. So your options are already limited. I don't think you want to limit them anymore by, in turn, limiting the enemy's options. I'm rambling. This sucks. Okay, it's an OD ban. Yep, so they're going for the mid bans instead. So it looks like the Leshrac is going to be the offlane pick, and the Oracle should be the position 5, but we'll see. Using their extended time for the next pick for Infamous. Yeah, if you're Infamous, you should be picking your other support here, because you already know who you're pretty much going up against in the offlane. You could pick your carry here, lock out something good. AM seems decent in this situation. A tiny pick is pretty aggressive. Oof, that's probably mid. It's either mid or position 4. And position 4 tiny is pretty lit actually. I've seen it pretty a good amount of times watching like JRX play position 4 tiny. That man just like walks up to people and just tosses them like all the way back into the back line. It's crazy, but yeah, you can get really inventive with the tiny. And considering he's a guy with a lot of burst, denying that pick out from LGD, who already has a good amount of innate burst, is a good choice. But that pick can either, I think nowadays it's more popular as a support pick. So hopefully we'll see that as a support pick, because I don't think it'll pair well if you already, or if you get outright countered by LGD here. But LGD also using their reserve time. We'll see how things go. It's the silence, the calm before the storm, they call it, I think. Yeah. Let's take a look at Infamous Gaming, because I don't think not many people know too much about them. Founded on December 5th of 2015. First roster they had was historic Peruvian team that qualified for the Frankfurt Major. Oh, so we got some big names out here. The Disruptor pick out though for LGD. I didn't know Disruptor was good right now. I'm not sure if Disruptor is good right now.
Dire team's
Uh,
turn to pick.
I don't know if Disruptor is good against that
Phantom
team. Oh, I
Assassin.
don't think. I mean, it's good denial. The glimpse is a really good early game tool, and Disruptor has really good early game pressure. It just doesn't transition well in the late game, especially against their lineup since Tiny and PI kind of just have the burst they need to make Disruptor non-existent. But I mean, it's probably who is it? It's probably I think it's X Nova playing support.
10 seconds remaining.
So he should be pretty good, sufficiently good at maintaining his distance, but we'll see how it
Five
goes. I mean,
seconds
LGD
left.
already have a good
Don't
amount
freeze
of
up.
coordination since they qualified for last TI's finals, so we should expect a good amount of high-level play from these guys. But more on Infamous Gaming, qualified for the Frankfurt Major, the first Peruvian team to do so. They have teams in Clash Royale, Hearthstone, and Dota 2. Ooh, that's cool. Um, Obviously, their team it consists of 5 players: Mason, Tomato, Papita, Wu, and I believe it's Moose or Moaz. But we'll go with Moose because it's a little easier. LGD though using out a good amount of the reserve time for this next pick. Guess the PA was kind of something that they wanted to go along with their plans, but they're looking for a better option. Something that's going to scale well, but also be a good mid-game
Radiant team's
contender.
turn to
Probably a
ban.
Jug? Razor, okay. But that Razor's going mid lane. It has to. No, no, no. Pango can go mid lane. So you could go Bounty Hunter 4, Razor 3, Pango 2, and then you have your safe lane carry pick left. This is weird by LGD. They have a comp that has a lot of good characters,
10
but I'm
seconds
not sure they
remaining.
work well in conjunction with each other, you know? Like maybe
Five
okay, so if they
seconds
stick the Bounty
remaining.
Hunter and the Razor together, you have a good comp that likes to stick onto people. With the Pango mid, it's a good amount of pressure once he hits 6, but not much before then. But I mean, the team itself is already pretty
Dire team ban.
well versed in early game skirmishes, so they should be fine. The troll ban out, yep. Infamous Gaming have noticed that it's going to probably be the safe lane pick last since these guys aren't really Razor and Pango aren't really the optimal safe lane picks, especially against a PA in the late game. So the troll ban is pretty obvious. It's a good choice, especially against a disruptor who likes to keep people in place.
10 seconds
The
remaining.
giving the extra time to troll to get those fervor stacks off is a really nice combo.
5 seconds remaining.
And Name is pretty well versed in playing any carry.
Dire team's
So we'll
turn
see
to pick.
something interesting out here. The bans though from LGD comes out to be Viper, so they're still keeping out an eye out on the mid pick. Probably assuming yeah the Tiny isn't really fit to be a good mid pick because I mean most melee mid picks are going to be counter picks, and I don't think you comfortably pick Tiny mid against XM, who is probably one of the better Chinese teams.
10 seconds remaining.
But we'll see what comes out here. I expect probably gotta be
5
creative here. So
seconds
maybe a
remaining.
Jug. You could go Faceless. Faceless would be exciting, but it'd be really hard against Listrak. It's not recommended. Uh, AM might be decent. I think the AM might be necessary here, but I'm not too sure. I think LGD would prefer a more aggressive pick. Um, could play a Terrorblade. A Terrorblade's not too bad. But you kind of get run over by Listrak. They kind of need something to just get the Lishrak in the late game, you know, just focus him down, be the clincher for the rest of their team comp, because most of their team comp here is damage. You're getting Razor for like the tanky, moving around in fights and causing disruption. Disruptor obviously for his ulti and his glimpse to make picks. Pango for the disruption with his ulti, and Bounty Hunter for targeting the backline and getting a lot of
Radiant
vision and
team's turn
setups
to
for
pick.
fights. Yeah, okay, the Jug is going to be the clincher for DPS in the fight, so we're going to have to see a good amount of good Omni Slashes, good aggression, but it's going to be on Infamous to kind of take advantage of those intervals between Blade Fury cooldowns uh, for Ame. So um, the mid pick's going to come out from
10
Infamous.
seconds
If you're looking
remaining.
for against a Razor or Pango mid, the Viper would have
5
been
seconds
nice.
remaining.
They need another like backliner because they only have Oracle really on the backline. Lishrak is kind of towards the middle. Tiny and PA are obviously at the front. What do you want here, mid? No, Shadow Fiend is too risky. You could lose very easily, especially against a Pango. Ember. Ember might be decent, but that's like it's like a mid kind of middle of the fight in terms of team composition. Could go sniper, but that's really bold. Templars, okay. I heard Death Prophet's not too bad, but what do I know? I'm really knocking my head thinking about what's gonna happen here. I can't think of what they would pick here. Maybe I should look at the list of heroes for a better representation. Dota 2 heroes. I'm an amateur caster, by the
Choose
way.
your hero.
Queen of Paint. The blink is very useful in escaping Penguin Razor. It is Razor mid. Yep. Yeah. So we're gonna the eyes are gonna be on probably the offlane here. For LGD, there's gonna be that early game aggression that they're really gonna need to set up for their mid game. For Infamous here, you probably just want to make sure your Quap gets out of lane relatively okay. She shouldn't have too much problem against Razor unless he gets a good drain off. I mean, like, you have Blink to deny like half of Razor's kit, so hopefully you don't screw it up. But they are pro players, so things can happen. The offlane's going to be interesting for Infamous as well. It's exciting to see how the tiny Listrak comp is going to work out. It's going to be a good amount of burst, so Ame needs to be really careful. And they don't really have any save for him, too. Disruptor really isn't that good at helping against an aggressive offlane, so uh, they might just pair these safe lanes together. It might be that strat because it's not looking to be a good off lane for LGD, or it's not looking to be a good safe lane for LGD. Excuse me. But hopefully we'll see how things go out. But if you have any comments or questions, any advice for me as a caster, I would appreciate it in the comments down below. But otherwise, we're gonna get into this game now. Another reminder here, if anyone is looking to cast as well,
Prepare for battle.
the configuration that I'm using for all the options and settings for casting is called the Pimpcast. I'll probably link it in the YouTube description if I don't forget. But if you want to, you can check it out. It's a really nice config. Allows you to basically just check out how things are going in this game, and trying to make it as much of a smooth experience as possible for you guys. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. Looks like they aren't going to be splitting the lanes. Yeah, so they aren't going to be swapping the lanes. The smoke out for Infamous just to make sure they aren't detected into like the lane assignments, because they're kind of expecting a lane swap or something really weird to happen here. We can't be too sure. Hmm.
30 seconds
Board
to
out by
battle.
FY. Yeah, so it is the FY Pango, so that's a position 4 Pango, and that's a position 3 Bounty Hunter. Mistake on my part, but they can be kind of interchangeable. The early wards out by LGD. Looks like they're trying to spot out the lane assignments, and they have spotted him out. Papita there to try and get the early bounty rune on the Dire side, but Xnova there to deny. Some little aggression. Chalice moving up for the rune, but he realizes 3 people are there, so he doesn't really want to get too close. The root comes off. Bounty runes go the way as you would expect. Oh, well, Chalice in trouble, gets tossed back actually by Moose. Might be in trouble here with another stifling dagger coming out. He should be fine. Just another couple hits on FY. Other than that, a little dangerous. Has to waste a sal, but you know, happens. Meanwhile, Moose TP's back to the top lane to his regular lane assignment. Let's see how these things go. Okay, Ame with an interesting approach. Blocks the creep wave himself so it doesn't get close enough to tower. Trying to get a better position for his laner. It's a really nice tool. Okay. Meanwhile, some other stuff going on bottom. Just a little bit of trading and aggression between the two. But yeah, like I said, you're probably going to want to keep an eye. If you're LGD, you probably want to pay the most attention to this lane here. Make sure that the PA doesn't really get out of hand too much. It is still really aggressive lane early on, but once PA hits 6, things are going to be a lot different. So we're probably going to see different lane assignments once that PA starts approaching 6. Mid lane, not too much to say here. XM's going to have the better position in this lane, obviously, since you can just kind of right click a quap down. Really too squishy to do anything like that. But Peta with the aggression here misses the stun, gets hit by the Q from Xnova. That Q ability is called Thunderstrike. The more you know. But yeah, let's see. Not else too much going on. Other than that, yeah, you want to keep an eye on this off lane for LGD here. Be the most aggressive here. Whereas, surprisingly, their safe lane is doing pretty well. Not much pressure going on. The Disruptor kind of really denying the early game aggression since Moose has toss and Pepita has his stun, split earth. So there's not really much they can do here, especially since Ame probably had spin level 1. Yep, decides to go crit level 2. Just so he's better fighting capabilities when his spin is off cooldown. The toss comes out from Moose to push X Nova towards Ame. Better positioning out here, denies the creep spawn, so he didn't spawn the camp. An excellent move by Moose. Well, FY out here grabbing the illusion rune, setting up some vision, getting some pressure out. It's going to be exciting to see how LGD are going to work without Somnus. Somnus is pretty much was a very large contributor to LGD's success in the past year, with his mid lane picks, kind of just always getting ahead, maintaining pressure, and being the first, make those mid game plays out the gates once things start to get, really hairy. But yeah, I mean he was a really big clincher for LGD, so it's exciting to see what's going to happen without him. Um, some weird positioning by the teams here in the top lane. Xnova training with Moose, Ame trying to farm while Pepita tries to grab a couple last hits. Nothing else too much going on. But yeah, this mid lane's going to be pretty much the same as always. Tomato's going to throw his Shadow Strike out while XM is going to try to get a Static Link every now and then. But really, you're kind of just wasting mana unless you want to force a blink. It's going to be a good bait to set up a gank if you just root him, or if you hit him with a Static Link and kind of force him to blink out and then kind of bait him back in. Oh, the action going down on top lane, Xnova getting the kill onto Pepita. Obviously the Thunder Strike. The Strike being a little too squishy early on for this lane to be as effective as Infamous probably thought it would be. The off lane for LGD, however, looks like it's going pretty well. Should take a look at the last hits and denies here. Mason keeping up with Ame, though not in deny, so the net was going to be a little different. Chalice gets the gold steal. FY gets rooted for a quick bit. Stifling Dagger secures another last hit. Nothing much else. Meanwhile, Pepita getting gone on again with the Thunder Strike and the Blade Fury. The movement speed from Ame is too much. He got boots of speed pretty early on, so yeah. Before he goes for any. Yeah, he's going phase boots. This man is out to kill people. Meanwhile, the toss coming in to XM. Tomato getting really low too as well. Oh, both of them dying on that trade there. Moose coming in before FY, but FY finishes it off with a swashbuckle. Moose is going to get that DD though, so he's going to deny that out. Xnova, however, trying to collapse on this. FY, do you have a mango? You do. He does pop it, but he's not going to use it to chase any further than that. The double damage seemed to be a little too dangerous. Meanwhile, the mid laners returning back into their respective positions. Bit of a spat there. Wish I could see it because I am very inattentive. We'll chalk that up to the I missed that counter. Hopefully that's not like a career stat or anything like that. An aggressive ward out from LGD. Xnova looking to deny as much gold out from the enemy offlane as much as possible since they're not really having a great time. Though they do have Moose positioning here in the safe lane, looking to get a little more aggressive with that double damage that he got from mid. Gets a toss out to deny the bounty rune. But FY should have Swashbuckle up to get the other one. Yep, Swashbuckle comes out. The Avalanche tries to deny him, but he doesn't get it. Trading auto attacks. He does get the silence off with the Lucky Shot. Chalice is here to get punished. Yep, the Shuriken toss together with the Janata will finish him off. He does stealth in again. Chalice looking to get another kill onto Wu, but it's not going to be there. Infamous just deciding to back off there. So 1k lead in LGD's favor, consisting pretty much entirely of the kills, but oh, up to a 2k lead now. Oh, some signal towards the mid lane. Looks like Infamous has smoked. Moves together with Wu, smoking up towards the mid lane, but they don't know that FY is here instead of their mid laner. The ward coming down to spot that though. So now they kind of know that XM has kind of just transitioned to the jungle, being Razor and all. So has Pepita though, but LGD are aware of this with that ward on the shrine spot. Let's see. How's the game going in terms of net worth? Oh, someone getting on here. Oh, it's just Wu. Getting a little greedy for the Riverman, buddy. Tries to deny himself. Did you have Purifying Flames, buddy? Could you have denied yourself? I'm pretty sure you can. Alright, whatever. TP coming back in. Looks like he's moving towards mid Tomato positioning the other moves to try and pressure XM as he comes back from taking jungle camps, but nothing else really going on. Xnova here at the shrine spot to maintain pressure, make sure that he isn't still going for camps, but it's kind of a little too late, buddy. Wow, they're really keeping up this mid pressure. So Infamous really identifying that their side lanes aren't really doing too well, and they kind of need to switch up their strategies. FY taking the mid lane from XM, as we mentioned earlier. It's a little bit of a disadvantage since FY is down in experience, but his swashbuckle pretty much denies him dying. That's a good combo. Ame, however, getting another kill on Wu, not the best thing. Yeah, the glimpse setup together with the kinetic field is really just too much, especially against a Juggernaut, who still has Omni Slash, so still has kill potential in this lane here, as Moose returns to Yellow Pepita to try and attempt the defense. Seeing how things go, the ward expires, the avalanche comes down, misses Xnova, the kinetic field to deny Pepita from getting in, Thunderstrike putting some damage on Moose as the Blade Fury is channeled. Are you gonna die here? He does have Omni Slash, but Tomato's TP'd in. Getting hit, glimpse back from Tomato, the Scream of Pain though. Oh, the Omni Slash to try and dodge the damage, but isn't soon enough. Toss comes out, and Ame is down. The blink from Tomato to get onto Xnova, hopefully shouldn't kill him. Yep, as he TP's out. An exciting exchange, but yeah, Infamous executed that pretty well, calling Tomato in. Unfortunate that XM doesn't really have the pressure as Razor to make that much of an impact in that kind of situation. LGD just being a little too overzealous with their damage. I think Ame is a little too overconfident in that one. Wu spotting out that Invis rune, trying to deny it before you should deny before he swashbuckles on it. Yep. Deny comes out. The vision obviously pinged out by LGD. And let's take a look at XM here. Doing pretty well, just kind of just jungling. A smoke out, so they're looking to plan on making a little bit of a more aggressive move in the safe lane here for LGD. Meanwhile, the tri lane being set up by Infamous here with Moose and Wu. Mason has been tracked, so they know that Chalice is in the area, but they don't know that Xnova is going together with XM on a Papita. It's so sad. But that's the life you live as an offlaner. Sometimes you just gotta take the bullet. And hopefully they get the return kill from Chalice here, who doesn't know that Moose is here, but he figures it out, gets spotted by the sentry, tossed up and avalanched. He tries to get a track down on another person, gets the shuriken toss with a bounce, but it's not enough. FY trying to help him out, but he can't really do anything. All you have is a silence or a disarm from the possibility of the swashbuckle getting your passive off. Nova getting a really risky position out here. Did he spot that where he didn't? But Pepita's going to find him in the tree line. Tries to go for the Diabolic Edict to get as much damage on him as possible. But you probably know why he was there, buddy. You probably know there's a ward back here now. So hopefully we'll see a sentry out from them. But LGD, I mean, their game plan's going pretty well. You know, maintaining that mid and off lane presence while your safe lane kind of just goes off on everyone. Looks like that combo's a little more disgusting than I anticipated. Good amount of stacks and camps though, so. See, Isaac, like as someone aspiring to be a caster, I'm not exactly sure how. Oh, meanwhile, actually, let's pause on that while FY channels his ulti rolling thunder onto Moose, and Moose is down. Another stun out onto Wu, and Wu is down as well. Tomato getting hit by another stun from FY. If he gets a swashbuckle lucky hit, only disarms him though. Yep, he's gonna go down to Pepita, who hits that splitter before he gets glimpsed away. A small exchange, but favor to LGD, who is now 4k ahead. Yikes. That's not good. Net worth is Y. Man, this is rough. The shrine out going from Infamous. Ame is a total of 2200 gold ahead of the opposing safe laner, Mr. Mason, who's actually American. Can you believe that? Peruvian team, American player. Dota's a lot more player diversity in their teams than other games that I've seen. I don't know what the international rules are for players, but bit of a poke going on to Tomato. He gets glimpsed back in the Connect Storm, static field, but he's gonna go down. The Oracle trying to save him, but you don't have ulti yet. Purges him out before he gets the blink off, and he's actually out. How did he survive that damage? Oh, it's the Fate's Edict. Man, only pro players pick Oracle. I gotta learn more about it. But yeah, the Fate's Edict denying any magic damage you can take, so the kinetic field had no effect. Any other magic damage that came out had no effect. So he was gonna die to right clicks, but no one else had the follow up. A really good play by Wu, maintaining that pressure. Let's take a bigger look at the map though. How are things shaping out? Ame is rotated down to the bottom lane, obviously in an attempt to lock down that bottom tower since there's already a second one. Opting for the Manta instead of any other farm item, so he's going for the aggressive play instead of the farm play. Meanwhile, aggression from Infamous mid as they take out FY, being a little too hasty to walk up for that farm there, buddy, when there are 4 players mid. Fortify coming out from both teams. A 3-man track by Chalice, a 4-man track by Chalice. The Shuriken bounce is going to be amazing. Please do it. Please do it. Please do it. I need to see it. Give it the bounce, please. Oh, my dreams are ruined. Oh, wow, the Janata crit again. Oh, the Shuriken bounce comes out. XM with the... Oh, man, the Plasma Field locks him down with the lucky shot. Chalice almost down, though, as he does manage to get out using his drums and phase boot speed boost. Pepita has been tracked as well as marked with Thunderstrike. Tomato was tracked that whole time, so basically LGD knew. They played the information and made an aggressive play when they saw that a lot of members of Infamous weren't there. It's a good play by them. Pretty good by them. I seem to be out of it, man. I'm not as attentive, but let's see if we can still make this game a little more interesting. Yeah, what is Infamous doing right now? They are really trying to set up an offensive against LGD, but he can't really fight against the Jug now that he is just Omni Slash and Blade Fury to get Yasha. That's a little rough. You kind of lost your lead there. So Infamous kind of has to concede that, but they instead go for the mid pressure, which is pretty successful. I mean, you do have XM who really kind of needs to avoid getting bursted by 4 people on the enemy team, as well as FY and Chalice, who is playing very aggressively here, tracking Wu, trying to get the Janata off, or the track, but he doesn't manage to do either. Kind of afraid that Wu will put down or mark him out. Does get tracked, purged instantly though, as Chalice goes back into stealth. A little bit of a spat there. He gets the track off again, but nothing else really going to happen here. Xnova going for the vision play. Getting the ward out, spotting Moose here while Chalice tries to collapse on him. Gets the Janata crit off, but the dust is out. The toss back in the tower. Where's the split earth, Pepita? Come on, land it. The kinetic field and static storm out to combo and kill Moose. Pepita, if you had the coordination was just a little bit off there, it could have been so nice. Oh, the Omni Slash coming out of the Pepita, so... Oh, no, the glimpse! It denies the rest of the Omni Slash, but the Blade Fury's going to pick it up. Both teams kind of showing a little bit of a mix-up in communication here. The kinetic field on Tomato, who blinks in and gets the Sinister Strike onto XM, who's in a bit of trouble now, as another Shadow Strike goes onto him. A Stifling Dagger hitting him too as well. The damage over time not going to kill him, but the Rolling Thunder being channeled by FY comes in, stuns up Wu. That's going to be an easy kill for LGD here. Am I trying to give people vertigo? I'm like swinging the camera back and forth like it's like a... Look at this. Are you dizzy yet? But yeah, LGD taking a really aggressive stance here. Since Ame hasn't opted for the typical Battle Fury or Mjolnir start, they're looking to really push their aggression here as Tomato gets blinked back again, or glimpsed back again. Manages to blink out before he dies though, so that's great. The lucky shot not proccing on a silence. Unfortunately for FY. They spotted out Moose though. Maybe you want to take an aggressive approach to this, but the glimpse isn't up yet from Xnova, and Moose knows this, so he's going to play a little more aggressively, kind of looking for another aggressive play while the cooldowns are down, but pretty much just maintaining pressure. Mason, you should not be opting for this Battle Fury, buddy. You need to be opting for something different. And I would have liked to see maybe like a Deso pick, or you could go straight into Yasha. Maybe deny the track as well as the lucky shot proc. Track on a Tomato though, gets Janata'd. Bit of gold taken away as he blinks out. Might have given vision over to Mason, but all in all, it's looking pretty bleak here for Infamous. What else can be said other than this is going to be a tough game for them to come back to. FY channeling the Rolling Thunder, trying to get a pick off on the Moose, giving him vision so the glimpse comes back out. Ame with the Blade Fury and the Thunder Strike, as well as the bonus track gold. Really getting away with this. Okay, so I see what their approach is. Pepita channeling his TP. Hopefully he gets out, please. Alright, yeah, he's good. Wu getting out there with his own 2 legs. Not really because he's a guy who floats. Yeah, he floats. LGD really establishing that vision dominance. Just denying as much as they can out for Infamous. Just kind of bullying them into submission. Oh my god. Chalice even going into tower for that aggressive play, glimpses him back into the kinetic storm. He is silent, so he can't really do anything else. Yeah. The Avalanche attempts to save him, but there's nothing else to say about what's going on here. If I want to see a comeback from Infamous, a good, nice comeback, it needs to be with a PA. The PA needs to get back in this game. You can't be going for a Battle Fury and be like almost 4k behind on the enemy carry. That's just not good. But yeah, if we want to see anything good, it has to be in conjunction with their carry. There needs to be a good solid play. He needs that gold boost because Ame's been getting track gold all game, and that's not good for us. That's not good for Infamous, guys. So hopefully we see Infamous come out with a couple more aggressive picks out, try to get the pressure back in this game. Xnova trying to spot out people. FY actually get picked off, as does Xnova. Chalice trying to get some aggressive plays out, but he does get spotted out. He knows he's in trouble, so he pops his drums together with the phase bits to get that movement speed, boost him out of there. Pepita trying to TP out, but cancels it because he knows the shuriken toss is going to stop him. Moves, however, tosses him back towards Tomato, who does get Omni Strike, but the Omni... Oh no, the Omni Slash goes onto the minion wave. Oh, disaster. At least they still secure the kill on the moves, though. Tomato does have the Sonic Wave up, so they can make a play here if they decide to commit for anything else, but Ame's just going to TP back to the top lane. Mason, however... Oh no, Blink strikes in. Chalice is here to follow you, man. You can't do that. Oh, he's tracked. X-Nova with the glimpse and the... Yep, Static Storm. So yeah, with Omni's Blade Furies is going to make quick work of Mason, who is now about 3,500 gold behind. He closed the gap. He closed the gap a little bit by 500 gold. A little bit of aggression mid. Oh, he did? No, he got it. He got it. He bought it. Okay. Good play by Mason. Managing to get that battle here before he does actually die. But yeah, this not very fun. What's the level difference right now? Level 14 Ame, level 13 Mason. What else is going on? Looks like PSGLGD. Yep, they've got the vision up into the top side of the jungle. The glimpse out from Wu. He tries to purge it off. Uses the Fate's Edict to deny any further magic damage, but Ame is just there with the right clicks to finish him off. He has opted now for the Diffusal Blade, so more of the traditional aggressive jug build. Taking it a little more old school this game. It's really nice. Really nice to see a change of pace in terms of like what's being played. The jug pick was kind of a more popular pick, but the way it's been played isn't as popular. FY tries to deny Pepita's TP, but doesn't channel Rolling Thunder in time. Moves also managing to get out of there, but they do get the farm from that bottom lane, so they're doing pretty well. Other than that, LGD kind of making their rounds about into Infamous's jungle, taking away all the vision they can, denying as much farm as they can, making sure Mason, who now has his Battle Fury, isn't able to make any advantageous decisions with it. Yeah, so he can't really farm for gold, he can't really take camps. He's kind of just has to work with the team now, and when you buy a Battle Fury, that's not really what you want to do. The smoke out from Infamous trying to spot out, but Omni's there on the ward spot, spots him out with a quick Omni Slash onto Wu, who is immediately dead. The static field onto Moose and Tomato. Moose is down. It's real bad. Pepita also about to go down. Tomato manages to channel his TP out, but the rest of Infamous are going to pay the price. Mason making it out as well, so their carries still have their gold. But this man is going for the death, so... Oh, we're in dire straits here. Tomato is going for Guardian Greaves in order to deny to get the purge so that he can he can actually play this game. But yeah, LGD gonna go for the quick and easy Roche since they have the number its advantage as well as the vision advantage that they've been kind of setting up for like the last 3 or 4 minutes, right? Because these wards have been out here for a while. Yep, they're almost about to expire actually. So yeah, this play has been telegraphed in advance. Ame now opting for the MKB. The ping out onto Tomato, who only has his Veil and a Midas. Good play by Tomato to go for the Midas, because he recognized that the game was going to be very aggressive and he wasn't going to have access to many resources. Well, Infamous wasn't going to have access to as many resources as LGD would. So you kind of just have to make that selfless play and go for the Midas Gold instead of trying to take the farm away from your PA. But not looking too great right now for Infamous. Now what we're hoping to look for is trying to buy time so that the Aegis wears off. The only way they're going to do that is if they get a good pick off on Chalice and set up some vision outside their base. But with the way they're not spawning out Chalice here in the top lane, it's not looking pretty successful. Tomato knows he's been tracked. He knows the events of the team. He does get glimpsed back, though, into the kinetic field, the Thunderstrike, but he does have Blink up again soon. But the static field denies it, but the Fate's Edict prevents him from dying any further. FY trying to get the stun lock out on him, but the damage isn't enough to kill Tomato off while the ulti is on him. Tomato blinking back in, though, together with the Sonic Wave, and Mason blinking on FY as well. Are they going to get him? Yep, they got him. They managed to clean him up as the rest of PSGLGD kind of sulk back into the shadows. But Chalice going hard here with the BKB out, immediately kills Wu. Pepita is next. Moose tries to escape, as does the rest of Infamous Gaming's carries, but Moose is down. Mason made a weird escape. I think he blinked out to the minion wave. Pretty good escape by him, but you're really not making much headway here after that one. Infamous, that was a good play. I mean, getting the pick off is what you want, but you kind of overstayed your welcome. Got a little zealous because you thought LGD was probably backing off, but they were still there. They were just regrouping, and you kind of have to expect that from a team who takes such an aggressive stance early on. But yeah, this game is pretty much getting towards its close as LGD advances upon Infamous's barracks. The Fortified coming out. Not much else to say about this game. Hopefully Ame decides to clean this up quickly. But if we're looking at that small percentage chance of this game happening, turning into a win, we're looking for a really good team fight here. Doesn't have the Sonic Wave, so that's going to be a lot harder. The Diffusal Blade goes down to Tomato, but the HS from Pepita locks down Ame for a little bit. Glimpse back in the Static Storm from Wu, basically denying any save. And LGD now kind of have free reign over the base of the Radiant. Everyone on Infamous is tracked except for Mason. Oh, the lucky shot coming out with a Rolling Thunder onto Moose, who is now dead. Mason and Pepita getting stunned up as well. The static link onto Mason. Glimpse back onto him as well. He gets stuck in the kinetic field, but he blink strikes back out and spawn. Yep. Okay, so on a quick overview of this game, the 26k gold lead is pretty much PSGLGD's safe lane. That was a really great performance by them. Pretty much just establishing that aggressive stance early on, denying Infamous's offlane from getting those first few levels. Oh, the Omni Slash going out to Infamous, but it just takes out Wu, right? Yep. Wu always the back end of all these plays. Moves goes down as well as Pepita, and the game's pretty much over from here. Goes back onto Mason, who tries to escape. Sonic Wave out. Pretty good damage onto them, though. You could try to get a good cleanup here with the Battle Fury if you get a couple lucky crits, but doesn't look like he wants to make that risky play. But yeah, at a 29k deficit, you're probably looking at a closed out game. LGD kind of pushing their luck here with this return out on the Tomato, but Tomato not prepared for the turnaround. Glimpse back also onto Mason, who also doesn't look like he was ready for that either. He does have that blink strike up available to jump to Wu, so they should be fine. But yeah, just the pure skill displayed by LGD's safe lane kind of just pushed them into that early game victory. But yeah, the GG call is out for Infamous as LGD pick up game 1 in this best of 3. We'll go on to the next 2 games and we'll see how things play out from there. But overall, we'll hopefully see better execution from Infamous. I like the comp, I like the attempt, but LGD knew exactly how to react to it. So hopefully we'll see an Infamous that kind of pushes LGD a little further next game. As always, if you have any other comments or concerns, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Shoot me a like if you'd like, and I will see you guys next time.